Welcome back to our broadcast. Polls have closed in Cambodia's parliamentary election, with the Prime Minister's party claiming a narrow victory, despite a strong challenge from the opposition. A government spokesman says Hun Sen's Cambodian People's Party won 68 of 123 parliamentary seats, but that's a big decline from the 90 seats it previously held. It's not clear when official results will be announced. CCTV's Tony Cheng has more from Phnom Penh.
Cambodia's Prime Minister Hun Sen arriving early on Sunday to cast his vote. The Prime Minister, who's been largely absent during the campaign, looked relaxed and confident. Under the glare of the media spotlight, Hun Sen placed his voting slip in the ballot box. His finger was then marked with indelible ink. But no statement from Mr. Hun Sen, who could be on the verge of a victory that takes him into power for a third decade. And the vote seemed to be progressing without incident. After opening polling stations at 7 a.m, voters queued quietly, waiting to be called forward. It's a marked difference from a decade ago, when electoral violence and intimidation was all too common.
There's no coercion, and I've been free to vote for whichever party I wanted to.
One man who has consistently claimed this election was flawed is opposition leader Sam Rainsy. Although not allowed to vote or to stand in the election, he was at the polling station to speak to his supporters.
They are very motivated, enthusiastic.
And as the heat of the day took hold, the voters faded too. By the time the polls closed at 3 p.m, most had already cast their ballot. Extra ballots were destroyed, boxes sealed, their security numbers recorded, all according to strict election protocol. And then they were reopened again for the count to begin. Well, the votes are now being counted. The polling stations closed about 15 minutes ago. The ballot boxes were sealed up, numbers recorded, and they were reopened again. The votes thrown out on tables where they're being counted. And the count is going on in full view of the public. The National Election Commission and the government very keen to ensure a high level of transparency. And as the counting went on, the opposition was doing well. By the end of the count, they'd taken the majority of votes at this station. Elsewhere, there was some unhappiness the process wasn't so transparent. Although election monitors had been allowed to watch the count, these voters had been moved away.
They just ignore, and even the security, they also ignore us.
And as night fell, parts of the capital closed down by military police. Just a precaution, they said, after violence broke out at one polling station and 2 police cars were burned. Tony Cheng, CCTV, Phnom Penh.